Hello everybody, I'm Sean.
And I'm Amber.
And we are the couple that grills together. And today we're going to do some country style pork ribs. And Amber's going to tell us a little bit about where we saw this at, the recipe at, and what we're going to do. And we're going to have these for dinner tonight.
So this recipe is inspired by one that Matt Pittman from Meat Church released a couple weeks ago. And it sounded really good. And like he said in his video, take it and make it however you like. And so we're going to put our spin on this and see how it turns out. This will be the first time we've ever made this particular recipe. And we're excited to give it a try. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to take some yellow mustard and we're going to rub the ribs down with that. And then we're going to be using the Meat Church, the Gospel seasoning. We love this seasoning. We love all of Meat Church's products, to be quite honest. But this is a really great rub. So for those of you that have never used mustard on your barbecue, don't worry about the flavor, thinking that it's going to add something to it, because it really doesn't. You're not going to notice the mustard taste at all. All that this is going to do is help the rub that you do put on the meat, help it bind to the meat better. Thank you.
Now, putting on the Gospel rub.
Yep. And this is not one that has a lot of salt flavor to it. So you don't have to worry about getting it too salty. But it does add a nice sweetness to it. And it does have some savory to it also. Makes a great rub for ribs.
And you don't have to be shy with it.
Nope, not at all.
And then once we get the rub on there, we're going to let it sit for probably about 30 minutes, Amber?
15.
15?
Yep. Just to let it sweat. But I guess you could do it for longer. It's not going to hurt anything to do it for 30, but
and then we're going to smoke these at
300
for about
an hour to an hour and a half until they get to about 170, 175.
Then we're going to take them off, put them in our
So when they get to 170, 175, we're going to put them in another dish, and we're going to make a braising liquid.
We're going to put them in a braising liquid. Then we're going to put them back on.
Yep, and cook them for a bit longer till they get to about 200, 205. Then we're going to take them off. Then we'll be brushing them with a glaze. Put them back on the smoker to let that caramelize some. And then they'll be ready. This is going to be a really easy recipe. All right, so these are ready now to just let them sweat it out a little bit.
Sweat it out, guys. Sweat it out. And I'm going to eat you up tonight. Bye. All right, now that our pork has sweated a little bit, Amber, what's next?
Now we're going to throw it on the smoker at 300 degrees for an hour to an hour and a half, however long it takes for us to get up to 170 on these. And we're going to be using our Inkbird wireless thermometer. to monitor the temperature of the meat. All right, now we're just gonna let it do its thing. All right, so now we've got the country style ribs on the smoker. We're gonna get our braising sauce mixed up, and we're just gonna use some apple juice. And this is 100% pure juice that we're using. And then we've got Blues Hog Championship blend.
That's some good stuff there.
It is. And on this, you just make it your own. So whatever you want to put in there, whatever measurements you want to put in there. I think I'm going to put just a little bit more of the sauce in there. Okay, and we're going to go ahead and throw in some of the Blues Hog Tennessee Red sauce also, because this one is not as sweet of a sauce. So it'll help make a balance of the apple juice in the Champions blend, because the Champions blend sauce is a sweeter sauce also. The Tennessee Red sauce has a bit more vinegar, a bit more heat to it. Yep, I think that's going to be great.
All right. I'll wait for the ribs to get done, and then we'll get them in the sauce.
Okay, so our country ribs are up to 170. So we're going to pull these off, put them in the braising sauce that we've made. Look at how those look. All right, that's the perfect size pan for this. So now we've got some aluminum foil, and we're going to cover this up.
And how long are we going to cook it for now?
Until I get to 200. So now we're just going to poke a hole in here and get inside one of those ribs. And now we're going to put it back on the smoker. Okay, so we cooked the ribs to 200 degrees and pulled them off the smoker.
And they're looking good.
Yes, they are. Love the color on these. And they are tender, as you can see. So now what we're going to do is we're going to take some of this sauce that we use to braise the ribs with. and we're going to mix some hot pepper jelly with it to make our glaze. And then we're going to throw these back on the smoker for a few minutes to caramelize. And then that's going to be it. This was really easy to make.
And where's that jelly from?
We got this from Rural King. So I'm going to go ahead and glaze these, and then we're going to put them out there on the smoker, let them caramelize, and then we'll baste them again with this glaze. So I have a nice coating on it.
All right. Sounds good to me. Looks good to me too.
These things are going to taste fantastic. Alright, so we're gonna put these on here so that will caramelize for a few minutes, and then they'll be ready to eat. Okay, so we got our country style ribs off of the smoker. We glazed them and let that glaze caramelize. These things are going to be so tender to eat.
They look good, and yes, they are tender. It's starting to fall apart already.
Yep.
Alright, so we took a little bit of the glaze and drizzled it on there. It looks great, smells great. Now it's time to take a bite.
Yep. Oh, that looks good.
It looks great. They are extremely tender.
All right, Sean.
Man. You know what? I'm going to be honest with you. I need another bite of your rib, because that's your rib right there, just to make sure how good this really is, you know. One more bite. Man, oh man, oh man. Amber, you made some smacking good country style ribs, baby.
Those are really good.
Holy moly, so tender.
Very tender flavor throughout the entire piece of meat. Nice smoke, nice flavor from the glaze. Adding that hot pepper jelly to that glaze really added a nice level of flavor to it.
Yes, and
I'm very happy with these.
I'm very happy with it. And so, to put it out there, we've always, when we started smoking, we did a lot of our smokes on the lower temperature. But now that we're learning more, we got more people we can listen to and learn from. Meat Church, Matt Pittman's one of them. I would have never thought to smoke these at the temperature we did and how great they turned out. But they turned out excellent. And yes, it does have the smoke flavor, real good smoke flavor to it, which is a little bit surprising to me.
Yeah.
And I'm happy about that. I would have never, I've never smoked anything at 300 degrees.
Mm-mm.
But it turned out great. Doing it just the way he did. We did the sauce a little different.
And it was very easy.
Yes.
And the sauce, we just did what we had here at the house, right, to be able to use. And yeah, I'm very happy with it. I'm really thrilled with adding that hot pepper jelly to it.
Yes, that hot pepper jelly was good.
Yeah.
So Amber, I think it's time to, again, that's my portions, the two we haven't touched. There's yours, the one we've eaten on. And that, when I say let's plate this up, and we're going to have some corn with it, plate it up, sit down and have some dinner, because everything's better together. That's some smacking good ribs you made, baby. I love you.
You could have gone anywhere, been